I pulled the pin and I'm moving my girls back out. It wasn't a very hard choice after seeing the bees fly today and looking at the forecast of another 4 days like that and walking through my shed. It's the bees want out and they want to fly. These girls have been confined for pretty much all of October. Now we're getting the opportunity where they can fly and relieve themselves before we send them into winter. I have to give them this opportunity. I'm looking at 4 days ahead and we're looking at 17s, 19s, 20s, 17s. So I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to put them out. I'm not afraid of a little bit of work. I'm going to get outside, allow them to fly, and then bring them back in. Got to take the opportunity when it presents itself. It's a hell of a lot of work, but I called Mother Nature's bluff, and well, she wasn't bluffing, so she sent us that weather. Just glad I don't have the whole apiary inside. It was sure nice to see the bees flying outside today. It's full flight. So I'm gonna get 2-3 loads out tonight, and 2 loads out, 3 loads out tomorrow. They just need 1 day. 2-3 days would be nice, but all I need is just to get them out and up and flying for a day to relieve themselves. So I'm gonna, next couple nights, I'm gonna move them out. Finally getting this shed. No, it's still 11 degrees. These girls, they're not too happy. Any white light and they come straight at the forklift. I haven't got the red filters on. So there's bees in my face. I'll have to put my bee jacket on as I set them down into the yards. And maybe I'm a little bit excited. I'm moving a little fast. I have to slow down because I'm just costing myself some work. Turning a little sharp with the forklift and casualties. Damnations anyways. So I'll set these out and we'll just take a peek down into them tomorrow just to make sure everything's okay. But I'm just letting the bees gather themselves off the floor as they are. Nicely. Put them back together. Look at that. Remember those tight little clusters I was showing you earlier? Box of bees. I just gotta let them get settled in before I put them back on the pallet. Box of bees. It's not gonna take me very long. I'm gonna set this truckload of bees out in the yard, and then another truckload just beside the house. And then these nukes I'm gonna set down onto the pad here, and maybe take another load of nukes up to the field just behind the yard. And the last couple truckloads up in the field just behind the yard, so it should go fairly quick. I don't know if Sandy's going to be too thrilled about having a couple truckloads of bees set down right beside the house, but what can you say, she married a beekeeper. So that said, believe it or not, they're all going back out. One advantage of wintering outdoors is you're able to take advantage of all those mild cleansing flights through late fall, through the winter, instantly. Whereas inside, the hives are stuck. It takes so much work to get them in, so much work to pull them out. So you miss those opportunities to fly. And that's long for these bees, that's hard. Just kind of forces them to endure a very long confinement. And it's one of the biggest disadvantages of wintering inside. It's just that long duration of confinement. I didn't really anticipate, well, I knew this weather was coming as per forecast, but I called Mother Nature's bluff, as I have been doing all October. October has been so cold. I mean, there's still ice melting off that pond right now. And it's set up middle of October, and that is cold, that is early. So I just kind of, started poking the hives in just to get some work done, because the hives are starting to freeze to the ground and we're getting snow and I didn't want to get caught. But now she throws me, like if it was only 10s coming, but she's throwing me 20s. And I can't let that go by. I'm conceding to Mother Nature and her goodwill, and I'm conceding to the workload for the benefit of the bees. Nothing I'm not afraid of. Work around this farm comes pretty easy. There's another load out. I have them grouped with the rest of my colonies in this little corner of one of our fields. So that feels good. 2 more loads and all my hives will be back out. And that is awesome. This is absolutely ideal. Not only are we getting our oxalic acid treatments done, but I found the opportunity to get these hives back out and take a real good late fall, early winter cleansing flight. Grasping this opportunity as it comes. It's a hell of a lot of work. I mean, we've been seeing -15s, -10s, highs of -5s. Wind, snow is... that is weather to complain about. But the weather that's about to hit us, the day that we had yesterday, and the forecast of warmth ahead of us, absolutely ideal. It's very important as we're beekeeping that we have to have a continued focus on those conditions we're trying to target. And when we see those conditions, we got to be able to capitalize on them, no matter what. I mean, this job is a lot of work. That's what we signed up for. So earlier in October, pretty much all of October has been a flightless month. Cold and wind. You know, I pulled the pin, I started moving hives in. We only got through half our apiary with oxalic acid with that treatment because of the cold. And now the opportunity presents itself to get these hives up and flying, so I capitalize on that. And it just helps them endure that winter a little bit. And I got to target that condition. I got to make sure that I don't let my thought of overwhelming work replace the act which benefits these hives at the most. And we got to keep doing that all the way through the year. Target all those ideal conditions. And when we find those ideal conditions, we do everything we can to be able to focus and target on them, to be able to allow these hives just to express the pure brilliance within them. And it's that brilliance is what, you know, allows us to push the boundaries. It allows us to manipulate these colonies and, you know, make a livelihood on them. So there's a lot of work, and a lot of beekeepers will be saying, oh, that Stepler is moving hives, you know, in and out, in and out. Well, yeah, because I'm targeting those conditions. And by doing that, I'm just allowing these hives to excel. I can't help myself. Let's tip back two colonies. We were seeing clusters, was it a few videos ago, tipping back clusters. They looked small. They weren't small colonies. It just is so bloody cold that they've already contracted into that tight winter nest. So now these colonies will have expanded, well, especially because I bounced them down the road. But it's, you know, last night it was 11 degrees in that shed. I couldn't get it down from that. You know, they're kind of flying at me as I'm setting them down. So these clusters are loose. Ideal for oxalic acid. Like, Carrie should be able to get through the last of the apiary today, maybe tomorrow. Depends on how much I can. I might just focus her just on that job to get it done. Just to get it done, because these are ideal conditions. There will be no brood left in these colonies. Any mites that are in them will be exposed, and that oxalic acid vapor will be able to penetrate these looser clusters and will kill all those little bastards. Ideal. Let's see what we got. I don't know. Gonna punish me here. Awesome. Whoa. Yep, they're punishing me. Huh. Oh, these are good looking nests. Indeed. This is a nuke. Yeah. That's last year's hive, 19. These ones produced me a lot of honey. Decent. Well, this is more than 2 hives. It's nice to see what stage you're at. Those are pretty decent colonies. That's what I want to see. Oh, tipping them back. Definitely are fed up for winter. Yesterday when I was setting them down with the easy loaders, like, oh, these feel a little light. But I turned the scale on my forklift and I'm pretty consistent at 95 pounds per colony. So that's what I want. Can't get much more in there than that. So I'll come back. Gotta get pulled away from the farm this morning, but I'll come back this afternoon. It's supposed to be, what is it, 18 degrees today? We'll see these girls flying. Sandy and I are on a road trip today, and we come back to a yard that has turned into a beehive. Sandy is allergic to bees.
So I'm heading inside.
So I thought I'd escort her to the house. But last night, I wanted to get these hives out as quick as I could. I dropped them in right beside the yard here. They are in beautiful flight. Oh, this sounds so good. Wish I would have got the rest of the hives out last night. Sandy's not so thrilled that I put him right beside the house. But what not a better spot nicer. Another yard I put over on this side of the yard. Tucked these ones in beside the boat. It's very nice casual flight. Man, does that ever sound good? Then I tucked in some more around the corner here. This yard's a little more sheltered around here. This is where the old house used to be, so the shelters were growing according to where the old house used to be. We built that when we grew out of this house with kids. This yard is just buzzing. I'm going to put some syrup out. So nice. This is really good for the bees. Nice cleansing flight. This should settle them down just because of the flightless October. So they set themselves up for winter a little early. This will just provide them a little bit of patience. So I noticed Carrie was working away at the hives that I dropped. How are you making out?
Those two girls are fine.
These two are okay?
Yeah.
All right. So I didn't kill the queens in those two.
Their wings are a little bit tattered, but that might be just like...
She got the smoke out for this job. It's not very often we dig into a colony this time of year. The status of the hive this time of year is truly foreign to me. We're never really down into here. All it is just a mass of bees. It's not organized by brood or income forage or anything like that. It's all staged as winter bees in just a cluster. She's a pretty one. How old is she? She looks pretty young.
Yeah.
It says a 2019. Yeah, she's probably that.
Yeah, explains her coloring.
Oh, is it ever a treat to see a queen this time of year? Ooh, she's a pretty one. Nice. All right. So that's 3 hives that have no casualty. Carrie is telling me there's... Can you blow just in the center? I'm not sure if we can see this. Just a little patch of larvae. How old would they be? I can't see.
Looking at 4 to 5 day old.
A little patch of winter brood gonna start. It's one of my boys.
His wings are tattered.
Fooling the girls. I want to see her one more time before we close up.
She's standing still. Pretty much right where you're pointing.
Ah, there you go. My pretty. Gosh, she's gorgeous. Ooga. Okay, I'll let you get back to her. Oh, do I ever love this. Bees, bees everywhere. This is our pig pen. There's our cornmeal down in there as they scavenge trying to find something. So I have to set some feed out for them just to keep them busy. I get them in the bag. I'm not going to set them out any soy flour or anything, but I'm going to set syrup out for them just to get them something to munch on. This yard is going crazy. Look at the bee flight. They're very attracted to the feeder, so I'm going to put some sucrose in here just to direct their attention. Not a lot, maybe half a tote. How many yards are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yards of bees. Just enough to draw their attention for the next couple days. I'm going to have to do the same back at my home yard. Just give them something to do. Look at them after this already. What a day. What a day. The rest are coming out tonight. One more truckload of mature hives, and then a truckload of 6-frame nukes, and then whatever fits on the truck for those 5s. I'm going to put them on the cement pad. There you go. And you shall have some pie. Let's go take a look at one of the yards I set out this morning. I made the right choice. I would just be beside myself if I wasn't allowing my bees to fly through this. Look at these girls. Very calm and orderly, very busy. Wow, love it. I haven't seen my bees fly all October, practically all October, and it's just like a spring flight. Say no. This is the last time. Well, there's today, tomorrow, Thursday, maybe Friday. Holy, I just love it. This is why I do this. This is why I raise bees. Just feel that energy. Certainly not complaining about the weather today.